Restaurant Unstoppable. Inspire, empower, and transform the industry. So let's just unpackage Bikky for a second.
Yeah.
So how do you define Bikky? What is Bikky?
Yeah, we call ourselves a CRM for restaurants.
CRM stands for
Customer Relationship Management.
Okay. And what are the what's happening? What's going on behind the scenes?
Yeah.
What are the tools? What are the appendages of Bikky?
Yeah, so we have integrations across a restaurant's channels. So we plug into their point of sale system, their reservation system, their online ordering system, their loyalty platform. We pull all of that data together so that we can track the entire customer journey, meaning who's ordering, what they're ordering, when they're ordering, how frequently they're ordering, what menu items they're ordering, all that stuff.
So you're not creating these things as much as you're tying them together.
Yeah. So I think that was going back to like my mother-in-law's story, it was like she's chasing after tablets and writing down phone numbers. What you said is spot on. The third parties have invested billions, into pulling, into optimizing their usage of customer data, right? Because they know that if they can optimize every tap, every app open, every push notification, every paid social media campaign, they can own the customer journey and they can own the customer's attention.
Yeah, that's what they're selling is
that's what
data.
They're selling. That's
or
what they're
data.
Selling. Right.
Somebody corrected me that I say data or there should be an S. Datas, plural. It's plural.
I don't know.
I
Potato. I just
this,
say data.
I'm just knucklehead and deal with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And so what we do is, and where the story initially began was like, what data does my mother-in-law's restaurant have that could even come close to competing with this? Right. And so I looked at her POS system. By that time she'd been in business for 15 years. She had 15 years worth of email addresses in her OpenTable account that she had been doing nothing with. So that's what we were trying to unlock. She's already got a history of all of her customers' visits over 15 years sitting in OpenTable, and she was not leveraging any of it.
So we're getting access to this data, but we're not doing anything
Correct.
with it. So
correct.
So Bikky doesn't just help you get access to it, but there's more. You also have do you have your own email marketing stack, technology framing, or do you outsource for that?
So typically a lot of the restaurants we work with a separate email provider like MailChimp. And then so what we are doing is we are plugging into all of their restaurant specific systems, pulling all that data together, because our philosophy is the data is there. You just don't access it. You just don't know how to access it. And then you don't know what to do with it. And so we plug in with all these sources, point of sale, reservations, online ordering. We pull it all together. And then we give you a way to make it actionable by pushing it to MailChimp, to an email service provider. And then we do the revenue reporting on every single email so that we can say to the restaurant, hey, you ran this campaign, you sent it out to 5,000 people. Here's how many of those people actually came back and placed an order or a reservation within the next 7 days. And so here's the actual revenue that we can tie to this email campaign.
So I'm a new customer, right? I hear Bikky is getting what I think you guys said 25% increase in return customers or something like that. I think that's one of the numbers.
For new customers.
Well, that sounds good because I know that all the money I'm going to make is going to come from reoccurring customers.
Yeah.
I want to increase that number by 25%.
Right.
I decide to purchase your services. What do I get? How does my life change now that Bikky's a part of my life?
I think the best way I can describe it is we work with a brand called Avocaderia here in New York. It's 3 locations, and the way he described us is we can focus on serving our customers, and Bikky is the marketing machine behind us. So when you come in, the idea is how do we help you get this data and use this data in a way that still enables you as a restaurant operator to go about your business in terms of focusing on the most important stuff that you need to focus on: labor, staff, inventory, training, menu planning, opening new locations. But at the end of the day, the thing that you shouldn't have to worry about when you have Bikky is the ability to send targeted, personalized email engagement to your guests that's based on their behavior. Most restaurant operators are like, I don't have time to do emails. I don't have time to blast everybody. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know how to
Marketing
measure it.
in general is a full-time job,
Right.
to do it well.
Exactly.
That's one of my issues with marketers is they're always like, this is how easy social media is.
Right.
And yeah, conceptually, it's not difficult.
It's easy to post, but
Yeah.
what to post, when to post, how frequently to post.
Consistently,
Right. So we try to solve all those problems. We basically say and we have a list. Here are 10 email automations that we can launch for you in your first month with Bikky. Here's the impact. Here's who they get sent to, and then it's totally set it and forget it. So it's like once you invest the time to actually get these launched, you never have to think about them again. They're just going to run in the background for you, engaging your guests for you while you do other things, while you basically build the business. So it's trying to put marketing on autopilot, essentially.
So for you, so I pay for this service. I now have Bikky in my back pocket, and they are taking care of all the marketing, so I can focus on all those things that you mentioned before.
Yep.
What does that dialogue look like between you and the client? Like, how do you take over that part of their world, and what does your work look like?
Yeah, great question. And we have a really great onboarding team that works with all of our restaurant partners through this process. But it's essentially, during the sales process, we'll understand your tech stack, what's your POS, what's your reservation system, what's your online ordering platform, do we integrate with all of them? And then we spend, the first week or so integrating with those systems and pulling in all the data. And then we spend, the next couple of weeks basically saying what are your marketing goals? Are you trying to re-engage lapsed guests without discounting? We got a campaign for that. Are you trying to find a way to tell your story and communicate your brand to new guests? We have a campaign for that. Are you trying to reward VIP guests? We have a campaign for that. And so it's really understanding what are your marketing goals as a restaurant operator? What is the thing that you care about that you're not doing today? And then how do we help you build a campaign that is tailored to your brand, your business, and your values, and very concretely program that email automation so that it's live within your first month of signing up for us.
Got it. So you're helping with the drip campaign, what is a drip campaign for people who might not be familiar?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's just a series of emails over a set length of time.
So somebody comes into your system, they maybe sign up for, maybe you're giving away a free sandwich in exchange for an email, that you get that email, they're in your system, that triggers a series of, they're in your system now. They know that through that email, because they ordered a specific type of sandwich, that they like that specific type of sandwich, and you can customize. Now that's a segment. Like, I know you like meat.
I would even say it's more basic than that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said, the gap between personalized engagement and spray and pray marketing is still pretty large. Most restaurants aren't doing it, and that's true of some incredibly large brands who email me every 3 days offering a new coupon or a new discount. But the most basic drip campaigns that we have are for new guests and lapsed guests. So someone new orders, it's their first time ever with your brand. Here are 5 emails that are programmed to send to them over 30 days.
Can you get into the details of what those emails might look like?
Email 1, thanks so much. Here's who we are. Email 2, here's our story and our values. These are all 3 to 4 sentences long. Email 3, highlighting a menu item. Email 4, why ordering direct from us is better for our business and better for you as a consumer. Mm-hmm. Email 5, here's another menu item that consumers love. Done.
Got it.
And that is
was
programmed.
For new.
That's for new. And that's programmed every single day for any new guest. So whether you have 10 new guests today and 100 new guests tomorrow, they will all go through that drip sequence.
Now, I know there's science involved with this, right? As far as mentally and what are you doing with that drip campaign?
The goal is to get to 3 orders, as close to 3 orders on average within the first 60 days. Because the probability of when a guest places their third order, the probability that they never order from you again goes down. So the probability that they don't come back goes way down.
Yeah,
right.
But I think the number is 70% more likely to come back to you. Or
so to really dive into the numbers, most restaurants, only 10 to 15% of guests come back in their first 60 days after their first order. So if 10 guests place an order today for the first time, only 1 to 2 will come back within the next 2 months.
So what is the psychology that's happening in this drip campaign that makes them come back?
Proactive, persistent, brand-based communication. when someone orders directly from you or visits you and gives you an email address, they're saying yes to you in the digital realm. They actually feel good enough about your brand and the experience to say yes to you and to give you their email address. And so instead of abusing that and appealing to their wallet with never-ending discounts that are totally untargeted and impersonalized, we say focus on building a relationship with the guest and give them a series of emails over an extended period of time that, again, communicate who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Okay.
And so you build that relationship, and the probability that they come back goes up because they're like, I remember this place.
Yeah.
And I want to be like them. I want to identify with what they stand for. So I'll order from them again, or I'll go in and I'll visit from them again.
Got it. So that was for a new customer.
Yeah.
What about lapsed?
It's actually not that different. It's for lapsed customers. It's let me reintroduce you to the brand. You may have forgotten about us. You may have forgotten what we stand for. It's been 60 or 90 days since we last saw you, and we miss you. But instead of we miss you, here's a discount. It's we miss you, and let me tell you what's great about what we do. And let me tell you about what's great about why we do it. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, let me give you a story from our chef, which talks about what it means to have you as a customer and to serve you as a guest.
And this is when when your vision, your mission, your values are front and center. These are the things that you do that no one else does that makes you unique.
That's right.
Right. That's why it's so important to take the time to get the clarity on what those things are.
That's right. And like the numbers back that up as well too. Most restaurants when they send we've all seen these emails. It's been 30 days. I miss you. Here's a discount.
Yeah.
The typical conversion rate on that email is only 2%. Meaning you email 100 people, only 2 of them actually ever use the coupon.
Right.
When you turn it into this story-based drip campaign, the conversion rates can go up to 10%.
Now, with these drip campaigns, if somebody clicks a link, does that send them down a new path? Like, are there splits based off of the behavior people are taking?
You could do that. So we have some restaurant partners that do that, where they will have, for the new guest sequence, for example, they'll have a journey for someone who's placed their first order. When that customer places a second order, they'll actually trigger a new journey. And then when they place the most advanced we've seen is when someone places a third order, that triggers another new journey. And so it's this.
But each new journey is a new segmentation.
Yeah.
You're learning something about that guest.
Yeah.
A behavior about that guest that you can use to specify the communication.
Yep. And it also works on the lapse side too with the discount, right? Let's say you have a lapse drip campaign without a discount that goes out on day 60. And let's say you have 3 emails over 21 days.
Yeah.
If the customer does not order after that lapsed drip campaign, those 3 emails between day 60 and day 80, you can have a coupon go out at day 90 as a last-ditch attempt. So instead of making the discount the first thing the guest sees when they lapse, you try to win them back based on your brand and your principles. And if for whatever reason that doesn't work, you say, it's fine. Maybe you really just care about the discount. Here it is. As a last-ditch attempt to try to win you back, here's the discount. And that way, at least you're winning the customer back and you're not leaving money on the table in the process.
Got it. So we're unpackaging email marketing really well right now, which is, there's some lessons being pulled from this, I'm sure, from our listeners. But you're not just an email marketing platform. You're more than that. You're also getting the information. Where exactly are you getting this information?
So we pull it directly from a POS system typically.
So if there's somebody who makes an order, you're going to have credit card information.
Yeah.
You're going to have what else?
Yeah, we have, everything that's on the check. So credit card information, yeah, sometimes the name.
But you're not getting contact information.
We don't get contact information. But so here, I'll give you an example of why this data is still relevant outside of email marketing. I was talking to the head of analytics at a 50 location chain a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about like all this stuff, what we do and how it works. And he's like, the most basic question that we still can't answer is, what is our order frequency? And I'm like, you're 50 locations. You're the head of analytics. What do you mean? What is our order frequency? He's like, don't know. Can't tell you. What's our customer lifetime?
So are you saying order frequency per customer?
Yes.
Or, okay.
How frequently does a customer order from us?
Wow.
What's our customer lifetime?
You can get that with a credit card because you can see that
you can't
transactions. No.
Well, so the thing is, and I think we're in a bit of a fortunate position here. you cannot do that without pulling all the data, sifting through the data yourselves in spreadsheets, and then combining it. And then you have to think about, what is my order frequency for an in-store customer versus what is my order frequency for a delivery customer? Because the way you talk to those two customers is incredibly different.
How those people behave is
totally different. My whole philosophy on the future is that, we used to sample restaurants by looking up Google Maps, going on Resi or OpenTable, and booking it and physically going in and having the experience.
Yeah.
But with the growth of delivery, food is more accessible now than it's ever been before. You don't need to leave your house. You can sit on your couch.
Especially in New York City.
Right. And so I think increasingly what people will do is they will sample restaurants. This is just a hypothesis, but they will sample restaurants from their couch. They will open DoorDash, Uber Eats, and they'll look through the marketplace, and they're like, I'll try this spot. I'll try this spot. I'll try this spot. And then what they'll do is the places they really like, they're like, maybe I'll go there and visit there.
Yeah.
But that is totally different from someone who's like, I'm just going to get in my car and go and try it. There's a different threshold of willingness. There's a different willingness to pay. There's a difference in terms of the experience. And so understanding lifetime value, understanding order frequency, all of those are pieces of data that go into informing how are you going to talk to this customer. Mm-hmm. And we saw this today. We ran an analysis today for one of our 10 location brands. They were like, I want to know order frequency for in-store customers, and I want to know order frequency for delivery customers. And the order frequency for delivery customers is almost 2x.
Wow.
In a 90-day period, what it is for an in-store customer. And that makes a ton of sense because their average check in-store is $50.
Yeah.
And their average check on delivery is $20. So